Yes, now we are in such a era where people have the habit of having the ginger tea, hot gadi ka chai. So when we opened over here, when we were here for the first day opening, so there was a woman who said, अदरक नहीं था आपकी चाय में. So I said ये गलती आपकी नहीं, गलती हमारी है कि हम इतने साल के बाद एक कैफे खोले.
Let us explore the rich culinary and cultural heritage of these cafes. To understand what is it that makes an Irani cafe Irani.
Marble top table and things and all that. This is the landmark of the Iranian restaurants.
How the tables are set up. They're all close by. Always people, there's always bun and chai on your table.
I think it's a combination of everything. It's the chai in the glass with that specific taste of that Irani chai which is boiled a little longer. It's that bun that comes loaded with the maska. It's the whole feel of right from the seating to the guys serving. It's a full combination of everything. It's not just one thing that we make.
An Irani cafe. These cafes are iconic features of Bombay, Pune, and Hyderabad region, where the Irani population had settled over the years. Affordable, adorable, and delectable, these cafes have stood the test of time. Their unique Indo-European decor, the peculiar habits, and their welcoming attitude has turned these cafes into micro-environments that are casteless, classless, and free from religious distinctions.
So we have all different types of people coming over here: rich, poor, agent, actors, worker, everyone. A mechanical rickshaw wala.
Yes, a rickshaw for sure.
We went to Yazdan a couple of weeks back, and I was sitting there, and samne wala table, the guy who supplies us food was sitting with a couple of his friends. This is very close to Shivaji Market, right? So this side, the guy who supplies us fish was sitting there and having. So we were all sitting together, and
A common doubt that often arises is, are the owners of these establishments Iranis or Parsis? The distinction is simple.
So the Parsis came to India from Persia in about the 8th to 11th century, fleeing Islamic persecution, while the Iranis came to India in the 18th century due to economic issues back in their country. The Iranis, when they came to India, they didn't really have much financial support, and they could not establish themselves because of that in industries such as banking and trading, which had already been sort of set up by the Parsi Zoroastrians. So instead, what they did was they focused on what they are really good at, which is making food, and they set up tiny Irani cafes all over. Wherever they landed, wherever they could get pieces of land, and that's the kind of business that they started. Now, well, as Bollywood has portrayed most Parsis, Iranis as a fat, jovial man dressed in white and wearing sort of a black cap, and or a fat woman wearing a sari or a Goan gown. So that's what they're really portrayed as. They're always seen as jovial, happy, easygoing, and that's just the persona that everybody has created around this entire community, which is fairly true, I would think, being a Parsi. Also, I think what they're best known for is their hospitality and their food, which is I think by itself a legend of itself.
Iranis on the whole are very friendly, a friendly culture where the customs are very lovely. Customs are really warm. So the customs are really warm. They love taking care of guests when they enter the house. So for example, if you go to Iran, okay, and you're invited to a house, first you'll be serving a black tea to you. Then the fruits will come. Then another cup of black tea will come after some time, and it won't stop till you put up your hand and say, "Was enough. Now I cannot take it anymore." So it goes on that level, and it's a very warm culture, like Indian culture. So that's the whole reason Iranians and Indians mix so well.
Irani cafes will be marked by the proprietor of the place sitting at the counter, handling the cash and cracking jokes at everyone.
Yeah, 1978 I'm here. If you give good quality, everybody will remember you. When you eat, I've eaten something good. If you give any rubbish thing, तो साला क्या खाया है कचरा.
So how many hours of
Of the milk is being cooked.
yeah.
From morning 6 o'clock till night 11 o'clock, my milk is on the gas. The more the milk cooks, the more thickness of the tea comes. So we have tea as well. Our tea leaves come from 3-4 different parts of India. Now if I want a good color, I'm going to take the tea leaves from Assam. The soil helps it. The soil also plays a very important role in tea leaves as well. Now if I want some flavor in it, I'm going to take the tea from Darjeeling. And when both the teas here, I blend them together. I want some color to my tea. I want some flavor to my tea. I want some texture to my tea. Once when you leave my
All in
cafe,
proportion.
my tea sticks to your tongue. The thing is, we have stuck to the quality.
Yes, there's no doubt about it.
And
There's no compromise in
and
that.
we satisfy our customers.
Other than that, I think our sense of humor has been really class.
We don't
Yeah.
leave anyone.
Yeah,
We don't leave anyone.
We can squeeze anyone.
Anyone with a sweet tongue. We Iranian people invented CCTV cameras. How we had mirrors all over the place. So the person who's sitting at one point, he could see the person what he's doing behind. So actually they thought we have made the mirrors for them to comb their hair. So that's the reason why we had to mention no combing.
Other than that, we have this habit of keeping some kind of a rapport connection with a lot of
with the
customers. So overall, it's more about the connection that we make over here. More than making money, it's about some people open up to us. Come, hi, how are you? Okay, I've been here. I do this. I do that. I'm in real estate. Okay, it's a real estate. Then I meet someone who needs a house. I say, okay, this guy is. Take the number. I don't want any agency money for it. So take the number. Call this guy up and do it.
And but the service is good. Very good. Immediately kicks the watch. Somebody is leaving, immediately calls to go sit down, this table. This personal attention is very good. They're both brothers, I think.
My very first memory of an Irani cafe was, I think, when I was in higher KG, and after my open day where I got a terrible report card, my father took me to this tiny Irani place near my school called Sasania in Mumbai. And we had like a bun maska and a tea and some keema pav as our lunch. And it was lovely because no matter how bad my grades were, that food felt like home. And no matter whichever Irani cafe I went to, whenever I'm homesick, even in Pune, I only have to go to an Irani cafe to feel like I'm back home.
I'm here regular every morning I'm here.
Every morning.
Mostly every morning. My sons also come here. They also come here. Well, right from my childhood, I wasn't born, brought up, educated all in Bombay. I used to be a Irani cafe victim. I always used to like this tea. I don't know why. It was an addiction, I would call it.
They've been in the culinary business for decades and have added value to their customers' lives.
It's almost like a family way. My people, my wife and all that go over there, meet his wife and talk with them.
Yeah, I meet everyone. You. All friends I meet.
And all these old cafes, like I don't know if you show these guys, we've given like a tribute to all the cafes over here on a wall. Let it be Wahuman, let it be Yazdan, let it be Kohinoor, let it be the bakeries, like for example Kayani, Good Luck Cafe. All these boys have been there since dog's years. Means you have to salute them. So these guys, I look up to them and he looks up to them because we have grown up on these guys. So there's total respect for them. We are like the new generation cafe guys, Irani cafe guys. I hope and I wish, inshallah, we continue with the whole thing.
And we'll continue.
Yeah, we will.
Chalo, take care. With my love. Don't say thank you. love you.